This video demonstrates problem 6 from chapter 12. In that problem, we bought 300 shares of stock in Home Depot, and we paid a $40 per share price. And the interesting thing about this problem is we bought the stock with what's called a margin account, where you don't actually have to put up all of the purchase price. You will borrow some of the money from your broker. And again, as usual, the numbers I'm using in this problem are not the same as the actual values on Pearson MyLab, and you don't have to use Excel to do this. Part A asks, what's your contribution to this transaction? The total cost of the stock, you bought 300 shares at $40 each. So it cost $12,000 to buy the stock, but you didn't contribute all of it. You borrowed some money from your broker. This 50% margin that's mentioned right here is the percentage that you must contribute, and the rest will be borrowed from your broker. The rest meaning the difference between this percentage and 100%. So basically, you're going to put up this half, and then the remainder, or the other half, you'll borrow. So you're going to borrow 50% of the total cost from your broker. So 0.5 times 12,000 is $6,000. The difference between those two numbers will be your contribution. So basically it costs 12,000. You're borrowing 6,000 from your broker, so you will have to put up 6,000 of your own money. Part B asks what would happen to your investment if the price rose to, let's say, $50 a share. Essentially, you own 300 shares of Home Depot, and now each share is valued at $50. So the total value of your Home Depot investment is $15,000. They also ask for the loan amount, so basically how much do you owe your broker. Even though the price of the stock that you own has changed, the amount that you owe your broker has not. So you still owe your broker the original $6,000 that you borrowed as calculated in Part A. It asks for the current margin amount at the current price of $50 a share. The margin amount is the total value of your position minus what you owe your broker. So this 15,000 minus the 6,000. So the margin amount is $9,000. They also ask for the profit. The profit will be this margin amount, which belongs to you. Essentially, your stock is worth $15,000, but you're going to have to repay your broker $6,000, plus some for interest, but they don't actually ever mention that in the problem. The amount that belongs to you then is this $9,000, although this can change as the stock price fluctuates. And then they want to know your profit. Well, your profit will be this $9,000 minus your contribution up here, the $6,000. So your profit is $3,000. Then they ask what would happen, this is part C, what would happen if the stock price dropped. So let's say the price drops to $35 per share. They go through this same series of questions. So what is the total value of your investment? It's going to be the 300 shares that you own times the $35 per share. So it's worth $10,500 now. They don't actually ask how much you will owe your broker, but it's not going to change. You're still going to owe your broker the $6,000. Then they want to know the margin amount. That's going to be the total value of $10,500 minus what you owe your broker of $6,000. So only $4,500. And then now I'm going to put profit or loss, and I'll put loss if it's negative, it'll be a loss. So basically, the margin is $4,500, but we contributed $6,000 to the purchase. But our value is now only $4,500, so we have a loss of $1,500 now because the price declined.